Hello everybody, welcome to Santa's Switch Adapted Toys. Today we're going to do this here Hedgehog Soother, which has, I pulled the control box out of it, but it's got some different features. It has press the tummy, and you can play soft soothing music, or you can get vibration out of it. For today's activities, we're turning off the vibration because there's a motor in here that will start acting up, shake things around. So we're going to turn this off, keep it on just onto sound, and we're going to set the box aside while we open this up and get inside and do it. Now, there's two screws here at the top and then kind of a hinge mechanism at the bottom. Once those screws have been removed, always keep a dish on hand. Tools we're going to use for this are the soldering iron, obviously, because we're going to be using that. We're going to install this here cable so that we can have, this is a mono cable. It's only got 2 wires. There will be a link in the video below as to how to make this, because you only need a 2-wire cable. And this here is going to be a chaser identifier for us when we get this opened up so we know what's going on. So let's pull this cover off, set it to the side. We've got the speaker here bouncing around. You can see that there. It's supported by this here spring. Spring is there. And right here is the switch. It's a circuit board mounted switch that when the speaker or essentially the button is pushed, it activates this toy. Our contact points are on that circuit board. And when we look at the circuit board, we can see that there's a couple of nice shiny solder points here and here. Let's see, hold the camera right, I guess, here and here. And that's where we're going to solder to, I think. So let's confirm it. Let's bring this back down, turn the toy on. And again, we're on for music. We're going to use our jumper wire, and this is that motor I was talking about with an eccentric on it. It'll bounce around if we put it, but we're only using music, so you should be able to hear the music is started. In each activation of putting a jumper wire on here gives us a change in the music. Okay, so we'll turn this off. We need to determine where is best for us to gain access for our wiring, that it doesn't interfere with anything. I'm going to go here next to the switches. Different ways of getting holes in here. I use a drill motor. And I have a bit that's perfectly sized to activate these to get the holes in here. I'm going to run this wire through. We're going to keep enough wire in here that we can reach around, get to where our contact points are, but not too much. And I always tie a knot. Knots are much more secure than any other form of retention. So let's see. If I tie a knot there, and does that give us enough wire? Yes, it does. Enough cable. I'm going to give it just a little bit more because we have it, and I just do not want to have any strain on our cable. So there's a little hint here on wire to help prevent the strands from running away on you. If you just pull it back just a little bit here, you see I've only got, I didn't take the cable cover off. By not taking it off, I can then use that to twist the strands of wire together and make a nice tight strand out of it. We're going to solder Put some solder on there to get ready to put this down onto our circuit board PCB when the time comes. Yep, soldering iron is turned on. Okay. Little smoke. I normally have this here dust extractor, this smoke extractor turned on, but for these videos I didn't want that to have background noise. So just a quick little dusting. And now we can trim this wire back. We have some good ready to solder connections on it. Manage this cable back over here to the box and get ready to run these over. So in order to solder down onto that circuit board, I'm going to want to make sure that that contact is nice and exposed. There is normally a coating, a protective coating on top of these that affects our ability to solder to it. And if we scratch it with an X-Acto knife or a sharp knife and expose that contact a little bit, clean off some of that protective coating that the manufacturer puts on, we're going to then, let's see, I'm going to lay down a little bit of solder right on those points. Okay, we've got some solder on there. You can see originally there was dots or holes, and now you should see that I've got some buildup of solder on that. I'm going to take the wiring, the cabling that we've got, and we're going to land it right there. Let's see, let's do the far one first. Oops, took my solder out of its holder. A little secret to how managing the solder by using that roll of solder and having it through a little hole there, which I made with the soldering iron. I can hold let's see, that solder down. The soldering end of the wire, solder wire stays nice and tight, controlled, easy to get to. Alright, so we have that. We're now going to do the other one. And for all intent and purposes, once that solder cools and I've got it. Now, how do you test to see whether you had a good solder point? If you can pick it up by that solder point, you know it's tight, okay? I'm not going to shake it around and bounce it around at all, but you want to make sure that that doesn't accidentally fall off of there. I have off camera a switch that I have several switches on the side of my table here, so they're off camera. Turn this back on. We have got, let's see if we've got adapted. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to hold this motor in here so you can kind of see what's going on. We've got motor, let's see, what was it? On the side of the box, we've got sound, we've got vibration and sound on the third position. But if I don't hold that motor in there, it's going to bounce all over the place. So let's do, there's our test using the adaptive switch. We've now got vibration, load, and sound. Okay. All right. So that's on and will work just fine. Easy enough to put this back together. Just put the battery or the speaker back on top. When you're putting this back together, you want to make sure and double check nothing is going to pinch these wires, okay? And I kind of verified that they're clear of any obstruction, clear of being pinched. Let's see what we've got. Did I do something? Okay. Oh, I see what happens. This is in a bad spot. pull that in a little bit. Now we're going to have, when this goes down, it's going to set on there really good and hold our wires, cables in place. Keep them from coming out. Still have full access to all the mechanics and moving parts. And back together it goes. Okay. Turn it back on. It's in motor mode, and there it is. Now let's switch adaptive toy. Okay. Very good. So this is the caregiver controlled options. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like my videos and subscribe, you get notification whenever I put a new one up. My goal is to make sure that the community is aware of how easy it is to adapt toys instead of having to pay the bigger prices some of the stores. So thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. This is Santa signing out. Santa Switch Adapted Toys.